My client Dennis just texted me and asked me how to be persistent without being needy. In today's video, I'm gonna answer the question how to be persistent without being needy, how to pursue women, show interest without coming across as needy, creepy, desperate, or insecure when you're approaching, flirting, texting, or following up with women. And I'm even gonna give you practical examples on what to say and what to text at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Let me tell you a little story to show you how powerful being persistent is. Back in the days when I was working in a bank in Germany, and I tried to figure out how to approach and how to flirt with women, and I was still making excuses and I had anxiety around girls, that one day I was standing in the Lidl supermarket in Stuttgart, Germany at the bread cutting machine, and I was waiting for my bread to be cut in slices. And then I look to the left and I see this beautiful woman walking into the supermarket. And I was intimidated and nervous immediately. She had long black hair, a nice gray coat, she was wearing leggings and high heels, red lipstick and beautiful big eyes. So I was super anxious and intimidated and felt insecure, and I wanted to approach her, but I just made excuses and I talked myself out of it, and I said, yeah, there's gonna be another girl, another time I'm gonna approach her, blah, 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 just making excuses. Then I walked to the checkout with my 1 week's 50 kilograms big bag of groceries, and I go to the checkout and I put all my things on the conveyor belt, and she's approaching and is right behind me. And then I thought, man, I gotta stop being a pussy, and I just approached this girl, right? And she just has this tiny bit of groceries, and I just take away the separation between her and my groceries, and I look into her eyes and I tell her, you pay today. And she's like, ha ha ha, no. She reacts super playful, is super excited to talk to me, and she's like, ha, no, you pay today, you are the man. And then I just pay for all my groceries, and she also pays for her stuff, and I'm taking all my groceries in my bag, and I think, man, I have to approach this girl. She reacted really well. And then I just put all my things into my bag, and she's already walking out, and she's like 30 meters ahead of me, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna approach this girl today. So I take all my courage, and I just walk behind her, and then I approach her, and she's like smiling and likes it, but just keeps walking. And I think, hey, she liked it, but she kind of rejected me, but why is she smiling? So I approach her again, and I'm like, hey, you. And you know, my approach back then was super weak, but she rejects me again, but smiles and just likes me approaching her, but just keeps walking. And then I think, man, she likes it, so I'm gonna go up and tell her to stop now. And I'm like, hey, you, stop now. I want to talk to you. She's like, oh, and she gets super excited and she loves the dominance. And then she's like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, super nervous, super insecure. And I'm like, what am I doing right now? I guess I'm grocery shopping. And she's like, yeah, you know, because I have this fitness machine in my apartment and I need someone to help me build it. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, do you want to help me with it? And I'm like, I think, sounds a little gay, but at least then I'm in her apartment. And I think, yeah, okay, I'm coming with you. And we walk to her, and I already had this feeling like, what's going on? How can she invite me so quickly to her apartment, right? So she was turned on by that I've been so persistent. And then we walk to her place, and I'm like asking her, so you sure when I go into an apartment there's not gonna be 3 Russian dudes with a fur coat and a gun that are going to assault me or something? And she's like, haha, no, you know, because she had like a Russian or Romanian accent or something. And she walks up the stairs with her ass like right in front of me. And I'm like, what is going on? I never had anything like this, right? And then we walk into an apartment. There seriously is this fitness machine. I'm going to put a picture here. And there's this fitness machine. And I think if I really help her now to build up the fitness machine, then I'm gonna be seen as the nice guy. So I just sit there with the instructions, with the manual, and I tell her what to do, and she's building up the machine. And then she even puts my groceries in her fridge. She's like, oh, they're gonna get bad. So she puts my steak in her fridge and everything, and she's super on. And I was like, I wasn't used to that because I was still very insecure with it. She's telling me, oh, you know, I was considering to get fake tits, and she's leaning out of the window with her ass so I can see it. And I'm like, oh, what's going on, man? This girl is super on, right? And we're already getting closer to each other, and she's like, yeah, let's cook steak. And then at one point her boss is calling, and it turns out that she's a stripper and she has to go to work. She also had this pole thing in her apartment, and it was super crazy. So I was thinking like, what's going on? And then we exchanged numbers and I met her another day. But it was just so crazy that I ended up so quickly in her apartment. And this story just shows you how important and powerful being persistent is. I approached the girl, I stayed persistent, and 5 minutes later I end up in her apartment, and she was super attractive. You have to understand one thing about extremely attractive women. Women test you to see what kind of man you are. Extremely attractive women have so many options. They're invited on a yacht, they're invited on a boat, they're invited to the club, they're invited on several dates, they have unlimited matches, they get DMs. They not get approached so much, but they have a lot of options. So what they do is that they give you a default no, just to see how you react. The main reason why women do this is to screen out all the weak beta males, because women test you to find out about your character, how you react, and if you're someone that could actually protect her in danger and that is emotionally controlled whatever happens. Because women want a real man and not a weak beta male. There is a saying that women have to resist and men have to persist. So what you want to do is that you persist until she gives you a really clear no. But if she's like, haha, no, you know, if she's like liking it but kind of rejects you playfully, then you just keep going. Or even if she's like distant and not talking much, or you think she's like a shy girl, then just keep persisting. Persistence is a high value man's character trait. There's a difference between being persistent and being needy. But if you really don't care, and if you're willing to walk away anyways, and you're just being playful and funny and cocky, and you think that you deserve the girl, and yet you feel actually entitled to get her, then it really depends on the place it's coming from. The transmutation of energy, that's a law of the universe. So what you feel inside of you is what she's also going to feel. So if you approach a girl, or if you text her and you're sitting there, oh, I hope she's going to text me back, and you have this needy energy inside of you, then the universe is gonna make her feel it. And that's the problem, right? So when you approach a girl, then just be playful, have a good vibe, a good energy around you. Don't care so much, don't care what she's thinking or what she's doing or how she's reacting. Just persist a little longer, and then you will see that you'll get much better reactions. That means that you can do a needy action, like being persistent or reapproaching or double texting her, but if you don't feel needy, then it works. It's not about the action, it's about the energy that you feel. So always make sure that whatever you do, you're playful, self-amused, cocky, funny, and that you're just a little persistent, and then the girls will love it. For example, when you text a girl and she ghosts you, then you don't want to like, hey, please text me back, I like you so much, and confess her all your feelings. What you want to do is that you think, she kind of reacted well, and I think she likes me, and I deserve that girl, and I'm entitled to her, so I'm just gonna text her again. And then you text her, not, hey, please text me back, hey, how are you? You text her something self-amused and funny, hey, did you get kidnapped? Or, hey, are you wearing a red coat? I'm in the city right now and I seen a girl that looks like you. And then she's much more likely to respond as if you're just a needy kind of guy with a needy energy around you. Always have an abundance mindset, and there's enough girls for everyone. Even if you're talking to a shy girl and she's not giving you much to work with, you know, you approach her and she's still standing there, but she's not really saying much, but she's kind of smiling and she likes it, then you don't want to walk away, you just want to be a little bit more persistent. So for example, you can say, hey, so did your mom tell you to not talk to a pretty man like me? Or you say, you don't seem to talk that much. Are you intimidated by my beauty? And you just want to be self-amused and completely full of yourself, and then women open up to you and think, this guy is actually kind of cool, and then they're much more likely to respond to you and open up. Persistence really is one of many characteristics that you need to develop if you want to be an attractive man, if you want to get a lot of dates and a lot of phone numbers with beautiful women, and if you're interested in improving your skills with girls. And what I want you to do right now is that you apply for a free consultation call with me and my team, and we're going to call you, get to know each other, analyze your situation, and find out if and how exactly I can help you. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to get girls, make money, and train hard.